ready to see the world. Like, be careful. Don't talk to strangers.
Yeah, no, I know how that feels. But I mean, you know that basically if it works,
Yeah.
my feedback is going to be like, oh, it looks great. Because
Yeah, I know. It's
yeah, no, I know how that feels.
it's like yeah, when you put so much time and energy into it, it's like, wait, it's just good? Come on, don't you get it? It's fabulous. It's the best, you know what I mean? So
Yes, I do know. And I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be fabulous. So
okay.
I'm just saving my rave review until I see it.
Rave review. Well, you have to actually see it. That's a fair thing. All right, let's see. I think I'm actually in there. Let me I think we're actually almost good to go. Let's see. Okay. There's this. Save this. Save. Okay. Change videos. Go back. Nope. That was it. There we go. Okay. And I'll go back to How do I get to it's so I click go live. Now I can't actually find the video where live because I paused it. It's amazing how complicated these tools are. I'm trying to get them.
Yeah.
Let's see if this works. Options. Okay, so if I click this, what does that do? Complicated these tools are. Test. All right, I'm gonna try to turn that off. I think I figured it out, so let's try one more time. Oh, almost clicked the wrong button. We spent more time getting it set up than we'll have in the actual conversation, but it's okay. Okay, I think we'll be going live here momentarily. Okay, let's see. We'll have in the actual conversation, but it's okay. Okay, I think we'll be going. Okay, I think we're live.
We're live.
We're live, I think. We'll see if we're just talking to ourselves or other people, but I think that actually worked. Cool. Hey, Jess, I don't think I've seen you in like a week or two.
We certainly haven't seen my washed hair in like a month or two.
That's true. I wasn't going to say anything. How's staying at home going for you? What have you been up to?
It's actually been relatively nice. It's great to have a community of people that you work with. We've been working remotely for a month, but we've been working remotely with our volunteers for 3 years in my case. So I don't feel lonely. I don't feel isolated, maybe a little cooped up. But to be honest, you don't have to tell me twice to stay home and watch Netflix.
You've been watching the Jordan thing too?
I've been watching the Michael Jordan thing, which I think is so interesting.
Yeah, what's your big takeaway on that before we get into what we're doing around homelessness and COVID-19?
So I went to Jewish day school from kindergarten to 5th grade, and I didn't really follow basketball. I wasn't into sports, but there were these kids in my Jewish school that were obsessed with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. And so these are like these legends from my childhood that I didn't know why they were legends, but like they were, they were as famous as anyone to my classmates. And so to actually see like the people behind these names, and then to hear these very intricate and in some ways heart-wrenching stories of like who they were and how the dynamics worked, I find it fascinating.
Yeah, I'm only, like halfway through the first episode, but as a longtime basketball fan who grew up, emulating Michael Jordan's moves on my front driveway, to varying degrees of success. It's really interesting just again to see like the people behind the facade, because you see the brand, you see the reputation, the shoes, but I love the moments where they have another interviewee say something on video and then they show it to Michael Jordan for his reaction, like, and he's just watching his mom read the letter that he sent home
That's
from
so
college.
funny.
It's so sweet. Yeah. So it's just, and it actually makes me think of our work. There's been times where we've filmed people experiencing homelessness, their reactions to videos that they get from family members and friends, seeing it for the first time. And I've always thought that's one of the most fascinating, stories that we capture, is when you look into someone's eyes and there's just so much going on, and you almost feel so much connection to them and want to see what's their reaction, how are they feeling. So
Yeah. I'll tell you the other thing that I was reflecting on while I was watching the documentary, and I don't want to spoil anything for you, but the Scottie Pippen is just such a fascinating person. His role in the organization and his life and his background, and I think it's beautiful to see what motivates these people who end up being stars, because so much of the time it's family. It's something about family dynamics or supporting someone or someone that pushed them. And he's a really interesting example of that.
Well, I think we've probably made as much connection between The Last Dance and Miracle Messages and homelessness and COVID-19 as we can. So good transition.
Sponsor our next live stream.
Yeah, that's right. We'll have updates every week now because we'll be watching it. It's great. Every week, how are they going to manage this connection? So a few updates, in some ways a lot to share, and in other ways just a few short things to kind of mention that are really the priorities right now. So maybe to kick it off, to share a little bit of an update on Miracle Friends. So we are now set to go with our first, I believe, 27 volunteers who have got connected on DialPad and are ready to get matched to people experiencing homelessness in San Francisco who have been moved into hotel rooms. And so this is a pilot program. We launched an earlier version of the pilot about a month and a half ago with Sequoia Living, a senior citizen center in the Bay Area. But this program is, our vision for it is to say, well, hey, we have this great network of volunteers all around the country that want to help out, connect with their neighbors experiencing homelessness. And some of our neighbors on the streets, they don't have family, or family is under-resourced, or family's part of the problem, not part of the solution. And so this is our opportunity to strengthen those social supports. We'd love to have more volunteers. We're going to need a lot more volunteers to match with people experiencing homelessness who have been moved into hotels during COVID-19. And so if you're interested to volunteer with Miracle Friends or learn more about the program, you can go to miraclefriends.org and learn more, sign up to volunteer. It takes about 10 minutes to fill out the application. And we have a weekly call for all of our volunteers to kind of get to know each other. There's a kickoff orientation, and then your commitment is 5 to 10 minutes a day to check in with your Miracle friend who's experiencing homelessness. So really excited to get that program started in the next few days.
Yeah, and we've had almost 70 signups for the program. We have our next orientation where we're going to get our next cohort of volunteers onto DialPad, hopefully middle of this week. But the people who have signed up and gotten themselves set up on DialPad, the main question that they ask is, when do we start? When do I get my Miracle friend? Which is so great, just to see how excited people are to connect as neighbors and to be part of the solution and to take care of their neighbors. So yeah, it's really exciting. Can't wait to make those matches.
And, Jess, I'd love to hear in your conversations you've had with folks, or even just thinking about this, we know, having done this work for so many years now, why a program like this is important all the time, COVID-19, not COVID-19. But I'd love to hear what you're hearing and just reflecting on as here we're in this global pandemic. what's the significance of social supports relationships at this moment for our neighbors on the streets?
Yeah. So two things that are really striking. The first is when people say, I'm at home, I have time, and I just want to do something positive with my time. And there are a lot of ways you can spend your time when you're sheltering in place, but it just when we present an opportunity for people to do something positive, they jump at it, and that has been the case with Miracle Friends. And I think we get to see this really inspiring side of our house neighbors, our friends, that not everyone gets to see, how anxious people are to make a difference, to do something positive, to be a good neighbor. And so that's really cool. And then the other thing that has come up in conversations that I find really interesting is this moment of solidarity that people feel they're in. Because as much as circumstances are different, as much as we recognize that people who are experiencing homelessness really are struggling to protect themselves during this pandemic, there's also this solidarity around, we're all in this together, we're all sheltering in place, we're all experiencing something that is unfamiliar and scary, and how can we be there for each other, and how can we be connected so that we can assuage our fears across the community, not just one direction.
Well, so if you're out there and you're feeling helpless around homelessness in general, or COVID-19, and feeling that desire to establish a larger sense of solidarity, which Jess, you're talking about, let us know. Be in touch, because we really do need the help for volunteers. We'll have a lot of opportunities to get matched in the coming days. So just go to miraclefriends.org, learn more about the program, and then you can fill out the application. What else is happening? We just had our task force call earlier today. You want to share any other updates that you're finding on your end?
Well, we have a few things that are ongoing. We've had a tremendous effort from some of the people on our task force to get supplies where they're needed, to collect, sometimes even to produce hand sanitizer to get it where it's needed. So that effort is ongoing. We heard from our ambassadors over the weekend that they need masks in San Francisco. Masks are obviously something that are now required for people who are going out. And so we're trying to get them masks if we can. So that's exciting to see that work continuing. We got a great call on our hotline today, which one of our volunteers picked up, and that's just how we're keeping our reunion service going during the shelter in place. And it's great.
Something special about that one, right? Sorry to interrupt you, but it's so interesting.
Yeah, so since we've suspended our outreach in San Francisco for the safety of our volunteers and for our ambassadors, we changed the way that our hotline works, so that instead of having it go to voicemail and we call back, we have live operators answering the hotline. And sometimes it's me, but oftentimes it's not me, because we have these volunteers who have graciously offered to pick up the phone and take cases. And we've had some great cases come through the hotline, and we've had some great referrals. And we're really looking to support people in any way that we can, and also to support service providers. And whether that's, the Homeward Bound program that called us a month ago, or harm reduction, or the HOT team, whoever it is, if we can help someone reconnect in this time where it's scary and things are really wants to record a message to a loved one. And I called in our volunteer. She started talking about who she wanted to reach, and they took it from there. Just right on the spot, got the information. That volunteer is going to be working on that case this week.
Amazing. Cool. Well, I think that does it. I know we have a call in about 10 minutes, so get ready for that. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll share some more updates in a week.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Next week.